They claim that they do training. I don't see an evolving anyway. We do the same things the same way all the time. They should learn how to handle cases like this so that they can, like Tokwe said, have watertight cases. Is very, very important.
Because she's
for the
still
development of the country.
Her face is not even supposed to be out there.
Tomorrow we could have new evidence that shows that she's not guilty. You have ended up embarrassing the poor girl outside. You've embarrassed everybody. Do you understand? So I think we need to upgrade. If we need to go for, we don't have money, we claim we don't have money. But
the police
the police needs to upgrade. And if you have a friend, you're going to for a break.
No. I'm going. Just finish, land.
Okay. So if you have a friend who shares their excesses, it's right to tell them the truth. If you have one that you don't know, where will the truth come from? Because you don't even know this side of the person. It's just a very
so it's a reflection of the kinds of people we have around us. Like, if I'm your friend, I believe we should be open to one another. I believe, that's
so
what I said.
So that when we quarrel, you not expose me.
You see,
But it's the truth.
You see,
some people will be coded.
But I think that we unconsciously assimilate what is being done in our environment, like unconsciously. I'm on a diet. My husband, like, he didn't really plan it, but now every agbo I'm drinking, he's drinking it with me.
Yeah.
Mayam came on the show, no MSG, no MSG. Little by little, everybody here is migrating to no MSG. You know, like, there's things that you will rub off. Yeah. So try and be around people that the things they are doing,
like mine, perhaps.
Yeah. If you don't know,
let me tell you why it's different in Nigeria. In Nigeria, there's a culture and there's a lifestyle where men can date younger people. So even if you don't do it yourself, which is good, you are in a bigger society that sees it as cool. Many people will hang out with their friends. I don't know if you hang out with their friends and everyone is coupled with someone that is not the wife.
And they're okay with it.
Yes, it does not raise any eyebrows. It's fine. In fact, they'll be hailing you with the latest cars, like, whoa, bro.
That's why you catch.
Exactly. So it's not even so many people that are even different. They are like the more disciplined ones. They are
seen as alien.
But you know, when this conversation started, many things I've heard from men. Nobody is blaming this man for being with a 21-year-old girl. You know that the 21-year-old girl is a witch.
Yes.
Because he's a man, it's okay. What if the girl is doing things that the wife cannot do? You know, things like that. So Nigerian men, before they come for me, I say not all Nigerian men, but most Nigerian men, in the lifestyle is okay to be with someone like that.
My
do things.
It's as much as we have our opinion about these things, we see it as not okay, but others see it as being okay.
Yes.
But my concern here again is the impact on the families involved.
No, that's the saddest part.
It is basically not okay, for my own opinion.
That's the saddest.
The impact on his wife.
The children.
Who holds a position that is respected, as it has been said.
And now she'll be pitied.
Her children, or his children too. Now the parents of the girl.
The parents of the man as well.
The parents of the man, it's the father that was arrested because he was resisting the arrest of his daughter. The impact. So a lot of persons should perhaps begin to take this as a lesson and reevaluate things if they find themselves in this circle. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll continue our conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, thank you for staying with us. We'll take some tubes now. Let's get reactions.
Sam says, this modern CEO owned a telecoms firm. That's a money-making machine industry. I heard from a reliable source that the man won some telecom contracts from somewhere. Ola Didi said, I guess, okay, so someone was asking why would there be a knife in the first place in the hotel? And Ola Didi says, I guess the knife came from the food tray. Nilade said if she wasn't withdrawing money from his account, she probably could have claimed manslaughter, but killing him and raiding his account, that is premeditated murder. Goodsby said, yes, getting reporters to ask questions is just wrong. Police should give the reporters information about the case. Biliki says, Nigeria is a real jungle, I tell you. You are guilty until proven innocent. If ever proven innocent, Corey Williams said, in Niger, 21-year-old is still a baby. How many of us became independent at 21? Even at 30, most of us are still under our parents. How old was, they mentioned Regina Daniels when she married, and Sanusi when he married a 14-year-old. And Billy Kiss Morenike says, the right thing, there's motive for murder by any interested party on that deal. Money is a driving force. So this is more, throwing light on the other issues that we may not be aware of. And all speculation still, it's really proven.
It's proven. And that's what we'll be waiting for. A lot of Nigerians we want to see justice being done and seen to be done at the end of the day. But we'll move quickly now to this next story, where there is a report that some ladies cut their single friends off once they get married. And once these married women, and when these married women are asked why, the blame change of status, having to cater to children, some even go as far as saying they do not want to be seen with someone who isn't married because their image will be affected. Now, the question is, should these factors determine the continuity of such friendship? How can there be balance? Should it be encouraged? We'd like to hear your thoughts. So join the conversation and call us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. Let's get your thoughts, ladies. Should these reasons, why would you cut off your friend? Because you're married or because you have children? Because she's single and all, you have to focus. Is that a reason at all?
I've heard people say it, but I don't know anyone who has done it. So every time I hear about it, it's always when it's read out.
So how did you manage your single friend?
Yeah, but I can understand how it can happen because there's just change in just, the way that your life is going at the time. So you're both single, there's time to hang out, there's time to go to restaurant, there's time to go shopping.
To do whatever.
Yeah, so usually it's not even about maybe just immediately getting married, but maybe children have come in, so you're doing school run. So that 2 p.m. lunch that would normally have, I can't do it because I have to go and pick up the kids from school. And I can understand how the single friend who feels, why am I the one always waiting on you to have time for me, may feel irritated, or the married person is thinking, but you understand I have new responsibilities. You should understand I have new responsibilities. I would not just deliberately cut you off. So I can understand that changes in situation can cause friction. But that's just the time to just sit down with your friend and remap how you go ahead.
You guys can continue with the friendship.
I really don't know of one specific person that says, I don't want to be friends with you because I'm married. I always feel that it's just people say it. Or someone who finds themselves in a situation like that but hasn't had the time, has not taken the time to talk to the friend and says, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling neglected. I'm feeling like I'm the only person carrying this friendship.
Perhaps for someone to do that, the person does not value the friendship
in the
as
first
much.
place. Yes.
So, from my own perspective, I think that usually when you just get married, like if you're in love, I always promote the idea of you marry, love is shacking you before you marry. So when you now marry the person you are in love with, you don't have time for anybody again.
For real?
My reality.
Okay.
I did not have time, there was no other person in my world. My world revolved around my husband. I'm telling you. And there are many people in that space. So you're trying to get used to the idea of marriage. And you're trying to get used to the fact that you need to be cooking in the morning. I wasn't cooking in the morning, preparing dinner. All of that wasn't my life before marriage. So a lot of things have changed for me upon marriage. And I was just still trying to cope with it. And then the honeymoon bubble, all of that. The next thing, you carry belly. You're vomiting. Please, there was no time to think of. If any friend that wanted to be my friend would need to be coming to my house and be calling me by him or something, there was just no way I could maintain friendship. But personally for me, I had more of male friends before getting married. And even though I tried to maintain that relationship a little bit, my husband was uncomfortable because he knew many of them had prospects. I just friend-zoned them. And in my mind, since I friend-zoned them, they are taking it as friendship, but he knew that they had intention. So you cannot say this person is just your friend. This person had intentions. You can't be a friend with that person again. So that was, I had like a mass cut-off, like block number kind of cut-off, like 3 months into my marriage, because I knew most of the friends I had then were men.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because interesting.
I think that what makes friendship thrive is when you have common goals and interests. When you sit together, you have things that you talk about, things in common. We're doing school, we're doing courses, we're modeling, we're doing things together. But when one person's status changes, the changes it leaves you with less things in common to share. So because some people find it offensive when you're having conversations with them and like my husband this, my husband that, and then I start feeling like wow.
Now only you marry.
Wow. They may not come out.
Who's the boyfriend?
Right?
Who's the fiance?
Right?
Probably
So,
a
and they
big
became
bride
friends.
to your
So
wedding.
you assume that because they know when the progression was happening, that they were totally in sync with it, or they had totally accepted that you were moving on ahead. So one thing I realize is most friends are very competitive, silently. So you don't know, you don't see it. Everybody's happy for everybody. We're all feeling like we're happy for people. But then when a certain progression starts coming, that probably that person has been wishing that it comes for her and it's not there yet. Maybe the person does not even have a stable relationship at the time. Yes, you would not know till they start, except if you are like me that can read subtle signs. So sometimes I see a lot of people go into that sort of friendship and then you see that one person is beginning to undermine the other person behind because you're not paying attention. But somehow it's there. They're happy for you, but at the back of their mind, hey, if say na me they marry, so then you now, because your conversation has changed, you now have more new things you have added to your life. And when we meet, we can't be just the same. The gist changes. When you now talk fine, Bob, I now talk about my husband or my baby and all of that. People who are not really people who haven't
in
worked
that
on themselves.
Same space that you are.
Yes,
and
or
who
haven't worked
on
so
themselves.
there are people who are not on the same space, but they've worked on themselves to understand that it's your time. I'm really happy for you. Yes, and you can tell. So those ones will still find ways to still be friends with you and your partner, and it goes on for a long time. I've had friends like that, but there are others that once you mention that husband, child, if they're uncomfortable, you can see it in their expression, they're uncomfortable, and they will be the ones to withdraw from that relation. They call you now, you don't pick again. Something came up and all of that. So it's not like we planned. Yes, it's not like we planned that we're going to break away from this relationship, but something just follows.
Sometimes when you find yourself in a position where your friend is drawing away because
I was going to go there. Do you try to bring them back to see?
That's friendship too.
Yes,
Understand
that
what
is
is
friendship,
going on.
and it also depends on where the both of you are before this happened. So if you people have gone through, you'll be friends. I have friends that I married before that were still friends till today. In fact, they became closer to my husband than even me. And we're still maintaining that. I've had friends for 15 years. I've had friends for 20 years. I've had friends for 13 years and all of that. And our blessings did not come at the same time. I married before most of them. Some of them married before me. But because we had the friendship had been tried and tested. They were my true friends and partners for this life. Anyhow we find ourselves, they will still be my friend. I will still be their friend. But there were some friends that I still had that had to break away because it was happening for you and it's not happening for me yet. And I can't stand seeing you being there before me.
And some actually rub it on your face. But I want to give an example, which is something that happened to me. I did the cutting off. Why? Okay, my friends, a majority of my friends are male. So it happens that oftentimes their wives are not comfortable.
Oh, Veronica is a fine girl.
No, that's not the issue.
I know. It's part of it. I know.
But they are not comfortable. And so when you realize, because I can also read subtle signs.
Yeah.
When you realize that, okay, somebody's wife gets across to you and says, okay, try to find some information, and then you realize, no, okay,
What's happening here?
What's happening here? Okay, she's still calling my husband, and they're still talking the way they used to talk as friends, because we're close friends. And so I just had to,
Take yourself away.
take myself away, give that gap, and then he reached out.
Okay.
like what's happening?
And I said, I just played around it. for him, and he got the message.
Yeah, he will.
And he left things like that.
Okay,
when I see such...
But the friendship might come back later.
Later, yeah.
Like, I had to
get
get cut
more
off from a lot of my male friends. But now, we are back to being friends. One of my male friends then is a medical doctor. When my son coughs, hey, doctor, you know, my husband knows that I'm calling and that the person was a friend zone person. The one that is engineer Kiniko, this site is Kiniko. The relationship, because they are all now married and all mature. So we can now go back into the values of relationship. But there's another category of female friendship that causes the rifts. It is when your friend's advice is not suitable for your marriage.
And you know that it's not suitable for your marriage, because some people don't know.
Yes, when you have friends whose character, they might be really kind, but their character, if you follow their advice, you will scatter your marriage. So, by yourself, you will not seek their opinion.
You will cut off.
You will cut off from them because you know the things they will say. So you mean you're cooking fresh soup for your husband? So you mean your husband is not bringing you breakfast?
So I segment people. I segment
Same
people.
here. Yeah, compartmentalize.
This is here, that is there. I know who to talk to for one thing.
For what, exactly.
Yeah, so if it is spirituality, these are the people.
If you advice from them, they might just come to your house and observe some things you're doing, and they'll be dropping.
And when you tell me, I sift it and I pick what I want.
Exactly. You have sense now. I don't understand. So for me, I have a male. One of my very good friends is he's male, and he watches the show. He comes to my house to visit. My husband knows him. His wife, his children. He's the uncle to my children. Do you understand? The relationship just evolved. I mean, we're now. And I got married many years before he did. I met his fiancée when he finally decided to be with her. You know, so that is the sort of relationship that I know and I understand. Because first of all, for you to be my friend, it takes a while. There's a process.
Absolutely.
Before I bring people into my circle, I don't just pick and, you know, and allow you into my circle. And I understand. So once you're in there, you're now trusted, you know, family. Because you meet my family members. My mom would know you, my sister, my brother. So for me, I guess maybe that's why I will not have those issues with friends. Then there's this thing that you were saying about when...
my rub on your face or what?
Yes, like the advice.
Okay, yes, the advice.
The friends that come and then maybe you're in a different place, they're in a different place. When I used to work in the bank, I had friends that worked in the bank. I left the bank, I got pregnant, and you know, and they were moving up the ranks in the bank. And I remember sitting with her, Sheila. I was like, oh, you guys, I admire you. You know, she's dressed in corporate. I was in between. I think I was pregnant with my second child, looking really heavy and feeling just. And she was like, what? Do you know how we admire you? This is what you have. And just, you know, made me see, perspective, made me see where she was coming from and appreciate where I was. And that girl is like auntie to my children.
That brings to mind something.
So she was not intimidated by the fact that I was married and have children. Instead, every birthday she's there, she's calling, hope they're fine. She makes this cute bag she's sent to my daughter. So she just continued being a part of the family.
It brings to mind, you mentioned something about jealousy, and I'm wondering, how can we have healthy jealousy, so to speak? Healthy one. I admire you. Something healthy.
Our God is a jealous God.
Wait. Something that is healthy. Yes, I see something in you. I like it.
I would like to have it.
I would like to have it. But then I am not bitter that it is not me.
And that's the health.
That's the healthy aspect of it.
So I think everybody has, we're made by a God that says jealous God. Like you cannot have any other God except me. That's the height of jealousy. You cannot have any other wife except BC. That's me right now. You know, so but the thing is, everybody has that bit of jealousy. What's jealousy? Basically wanting what somebody else has. That's the definition of jealousy. Yes, according to the dictionary.
So to speak.
Yes, dictionary meaning, check it. Wanting what somebody else has. You know, you want it for yourself. That's jealousy. And we've been created with bits and pieces of it at different points in time, depending on your goals or your aspirations and how your life is turning out. But that is where we need to start working on ourselves to understand the motive behind the want. Am I wanting this because you have it and I feel you shouldn't have it, you don't deserve it? Or am I wanting it because it's actually what I desire to have, like you?
Like to have it.
And I like to have it like you.
And for some persons,
it is
I can do it better.
You know why was it? Jealousy is also, sometimes they have it, but they don't want you to have it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They already have what you just acquired, but the fact that, how are you having what I have? So it's not always about because they want what you have. They already have it, but they don't want you to have it.
The definition, jealousy is feeling or showing an envious resentment of someone, their achievement, possession, or perceived advantage. So it's that resentment. So it's already negative connotation. Jealousy is not admiring.
So how can you have something healthy?
Yes.
That it's not admiration.
I can be happy. I can see Leopold's new car. I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I sit there inside the car, say, I must buy food inside this car. I must drive this car around. I admire it. It's become jealousy when I start resenting that. How come she got car?
You know that is already wait, see the resentment, but you can show it by when they are celebrating.
I'm saying that you yourself.
Let's quickly take this call. Then we'll delve into all the argument. Dayo is calling from Abuja. Dayo, good morning. Wow. Dayo, are you there? Hello, Dayo. All right, Dayo is not there.
So what I was saying was, if you admire someone's achievement, you admire someone's possession, and you like it, and you like, I really like this thing, I really want this thing. It's not jealousy yet. It is when you start feeling bad that how come this person has it when I want it? How come this is something I'm praying for and I don't have it, and this person now got it? The person wasn't even asking for it.
How did you know the person was not asking for it?
The assumption we just start feeling bad, and we're unable to purely from our hearts rejoice with someone else's success.
So sometimes we feel that bad without even knowing that we're feeling that bad, but it can show in somebody just tells you something, and instead of you to appreciate and see, there are people I observe that when something good happens to you, instead of them to focus, it's you we are celebrating today. Let us celebrate you today. That's when they will now mention that this is exactly what I would like to have. At the same time that you're supposed to be celebrating that person. So sometimes we think we're not jealous, but we are, because we've not paid attention to. That's where self-awareness comes from. We're not paid attention to exactly how we're feeling. A lot of people are not self-aware. They're not self-aware. You don't know that you're in that space. So how do we come out of that negative jealousy where you feel this person does not deserve it, I'm better than this person?
That was the question earlier.
To constantly, you have
a call? Yes, we have a call. Buki calling from Port Harcourt. Hello, Buki, good morning. Buki, are you there? Buki seems... All right. Please call us again. Yes, you wanted to say something.
Sometimes I always feel that many women tend to always put women's emotion under envy. Like, we only expect women to either be angry or envious. We feel that if a person does not respond the way we expect the person to respond, that she's envious about envy or jealousy. And I wonder if we understand that women have like so many other emotions except, as well as that. Sometimes
and express it differently.
Yes, and express it differently. And sometimes it may not be envy. Sometimes the person just maybe does not even like what you have. And is thinking, oh, how do I tell her I don't really think this? Do you get?
But if you're my friend, you should be able to tell me.
No, listen, I'm just saying, yes. But you're in a happy place as a friend. You find someone who's accepting. No, that's not the time. Exactly. That's not the time.
We can talk about timing. Good. But then, tell me some other time.
Timing. But also, you need to have a friend who does not think that everything that comes out of your mouth is coming out from a place of envy. The person has to trust that, okay, she means well. She just sees it differently. And there's nothing wrong in saying, well, I know that's what you think, but this is how I feel about it. I love it and I'm excited. So, my own is every time we talk about women and our relationships, we end to dump women in that place of envy. She was not so excited about it. I'm sure she's envious of me. And I question that, is it not because you have lots of envy that
You are thinking in that light, yes.
Yeah, you see everyone in that light that you're envious. So sometimes we should give people grace. And when you're someone's friend, if you think that they've acted a certain way that you didn't understand, you felt weird, have that communication. Women don't have that communication. Women don't like confrontation. Women don't like to speak to
confrontation. They don't like to hear the truth.
They don't like to have deep conversations. So we go very, very, hi, you look nice, you do. And then we move on. And then you would go and talk to someone else instead about how you think she was envious. Instead, this is my paddy. Sis, what was that about? I did not feel that energy, what's happening. And then you can get a true response about what that person was
and it might just be something else going on in her own life.
Exactly.
Like she's dealing with her own baggage that she's unable to share
I remember
because
when
this is your own
someone
joyful
sent
moment.
me a message one morning saying, celebrate me, this, that, stop being envious. And I'm wondering, okay,
What's happening?
what's happening?
Where are we?
Where are we? What led to this conversation? Why would you think I am being envious or jealous of you because this has happened, or I didn't react in a certain way that you expected me to do? I mean, we all react to different things differently.
And we judge people based on expectations we did not communicate.
Yes.
So I did not communicate my expectations, but you did not give me what I want, and I did not tell you I want, and then I'm judging you for your failure to meet up with the expectation that I did not communicate.
Okay, can we quickly take this call? Chidima is calling from... Oh,
I hear that Chidima name.
Chidima, please call us again.
Yeah, I also think we. Okay, you want to say something? I also think that we assume a lot.
Yes.
We instead of queen, you are you know yourself. We assume a lot. Okay, so I wouldn't blame us, because we all have a different nurture. You know, as you grow older, as you are more open-minded, you begin to work on certain things that could have nurtured you 30-something years of your life. Yeah. So because of our different backgrounds, and we've seen things handled differently, and everybody has found a way to sort of protect themselves from being hurt. Yeah. So if you are in a space where somebody is protective of that inner space, so they can let you in, you are my friend, but if you get to this place, I don't want to shut you down. I shut you out. Yeah. So if you have those sort of relationships, you see that there's always assumptions going on. Maybe that's exactly how. Let me mind myself before I get into this space where I feel she has broken my heart. And you see there's a lot of coping mechanisms adopted to handle that relationship, because that's what the person knows best. That's how the person has seen, this is how I can engage people and not hurt myself. Everybody's selfish at the end of the day. We all, one way or the other, try to protect ourselves. But that's where, like Miriam said, conversation comes in. Have that conversation, but you have it at the time you're ready for that conversation. So like today now, somebody got me upset, and I'm not going to have this conversation today. I want to calm down to have it where I can be more logical, and I will, put my words in a way that I wouldn't hurt her feelings, because I respect her.
Absolutely.
If I have this conversation today, we will fight. But I don't want it. So give people time also to
now you are being considerate because
of how she will feel.
You see? Maturity.
Yes, which a lot of people do not even have.
So going back to the girlfriends growing, it's looking like married women no longer maintain friendship with their single girls, and I'll just let you that girls growing apart. That how do we now bring back those friendships? Like you remember, there was this lady, she was my very, very good friend in secondary school and university, but we don't see or talk anymore. Because really life happens. There's a lady that I got her number because I just saw on Instagram saying, on Facebook saying she lost her dad as well. And I was like, this is my girl, she was my 5 and 6 when we were in school. But we've just gone apart. She's married and living in another area of Lagos, and life has happened. But when I saw that, I'm like, no, you need to reach out.
This is an opportunity.
So when life happens to us, as we grow, we should become more self-aware and notice things. And when we notice them, we should try and implement redress. Like, let me reconnect. Let me try and call this person. Let me check on this, my friend. Let me try and get her number or get his number and just ask, how are you doing? It's been a long time. Let's hang out. And
I see my husband do that a lot. And he's in touch with all his friends. He reaches out to them, and I'm wondering, although I've learned a lot of that now, but
really need to investigate.
I wouldn't hurt her feelings because I respect her.
Absolutely.
If I have this conversation today, we will fight. But I don't want it. So give people time also to
now you are being considerate
yes, of how she
you feel. You see? Yes. Which a lot of people do not even have.
Going back to the girlfriends, it's looking like married women no longer maintain friendship with their single girls. And I'll just let you that girls growing apart. That how do we now bring back those friendships? Like you remember, oh, there was this lady. She was my very, very good friend in secondary school and university. Oh, but we don't see or talk anymore. Because really, life happens. There's a lady that I got her number because I just saw on Instagram saying, on Facebook saying she lost her dad as well. And I was like, this is my girl. She was my 5 and 6 when we were in school. But we've just gone apart. She's married and living in another area of Lagos and life has happened. But when I saw that, I'm like, no, you need to reach out.
This is an opportunity.
So when life happens to us, as we grow, we should become more self-aware and notice things. And when we notice them, we should try and implement redress. Like, let me reconnect. Let me try and call this person. Let me check on this, my friend. Let me try and get her number or get his number and just ask, how are you doing? It's been a long time. Let's hang out. And
I see my husband do that a lot. And he's in touch with all his friends.
Wow.
He reaches out to them, and I'm wondering, although I've learned a lot of that now, but I'm a work in progress. And it was a difficult one for me, because most of the persons that I brought close as friends ended up hurting me at some point or the other. So I had to protect my space.
Yes, I know that. I think it's like friendships are sweet. That's the truth.
No, it is.
Yes, but we always run away from the hard times when they come. Because so it's supposed to be like one. Like today now. See the flaws, like they are piling up and all of that. But you still.
Yeah, I want to say something about the this lady where I'm pointing my hand. This one. She said that his husband is like that. His husband reached his old friend. Your husband is I don't know your husband, but you said it from your mouth. Nobody forced you. Your husband is a wonderful man. Your husband is hearing me. This message will go on internet when I finish with the Chidinma documentary. Your husband is such a wonderful man. Your husband is the type who understand what is foundation. Your husband is the type we need in Nigeria. He's the type, when it's good for them, they never forget their beginning. Your husband did not forget his beginning. That is why he always reach out to his friend. But the only thing I want to put in here, your husband should be careful as well. Because some friends, they are very jealous. Let's say their friends have really gone far and they are still in that place, they might be just natural jealous. Your husband should be very, very careful. But it's good to don't forget your foundation. Your husband is such a wonderful man. Wherever he is, may God give him strength. You need to reach, even though you become a prime minister, you become a president, do not forget your foundation. Your foundation carries you along. Your foundation, my foundation, Abuloja, University of Lagos, I never forget it. My foundation took me to National Assembly, Office of the Senate President, Office of the President, NTA, and brought me again to international country and take me across the whole world. That is my foundation. I never forget my foundation. So your husband is such a wonderful man, That is why I'm putting all these heroes here, the people that have made history. That is what we are talking about, King JAJA of Opobo. King JAJA of Opobo, we need to remember King JAJA of Opobo Foundation, So this documentary is about what I want to analyze about Mitchell death and Chidinma's story, you know, episode 1 to 21, because Chidinma is a 21 years old girl from University of Lagos who have gone into this, devil have used him to destroy his life. But Chidinma, God will see you through. Go and ask for forgiveness of sin, because all the Boko Haram killing people, when they come to church, they ask for forgiveness of sin and they forgive them. The same way God told Mary Magdalene, go and repent and sin no more, you know. So you people should look at what Chidinma to be in that case, and we pray, we cover our children with the blood of Jesus, we cover the road, everything we are doing. Even your husband, I don't know your husband, he have the heart to reach to his foundation, to where he beginning. May God, I cover him with the blood of Jesus. The eyes of the wicked one will not see him, you know, the same way I cover my children. That is why somebody who did not forget, it's not good for you when you become a president, you forget your beginning. Your beginning takes you everywhere you are going. Your beginning is the rock. Your beginning is a solid foundation. That is what I want to chip in. This broadcasting that I'm doing, this documentary is not a copyright. It's not, we are not copywriting anybody, but I'm using it to tell the story, because we need to tell the story of Chidinma and Mitchell. You know, we need to tell the story of Chidinma and Michael. I just call it Michael or Mitchell, the way they spell it like American Michael anyway. So Michael, wherever you are, you know, we call it across the other world. May your soul rest in perfect finish. And all the pluggers, I'm going to put all their story together, you know, and send it across. Pluggers, sometimes before you talk, go and study what you are talking. If you're a Christian, you know, pray first and let God speak as a mind of God. Not like the story, share it, put thumbs up, you know. Sometimes you people are just making like you are begging this money. If God want to bless you with this plugin, he will bless you, you know. If God want to say you will be a plugger, you will be poor, you know, and you people do what I'm seeing. You bring cut and next story, you are begging for people to talk about, like and share, you know. Go and study what you will say first, you know, because this episode I started on Chidinma, I'm going to touchlize everything. I'm going to see where Chidinma was born, what brought Chidinma, where our mothers, we have to go and check if their great-grandfather, because this thing is in blood, if their great-grandfather is a warrior, is a killer, maybe that is what followed Chidinma, because that guy name is Chidinma. You know, like me now, my father is a big merchant, an icon, a legend, a leader, you know. But all what we know is positive life. We never know anything negative life. If this killing, maybe their great-grandfather, there is a killing in their family, it might be what followed this girl. You don't know what have followed this girl, you know. So anybody who want to talk, this Michael too, look at such a handsome, beautiful man, you know, very handsome. I don't know what put you into this spirit of fornication for you to be going up and down, lodging women in the hotel. That is the corruption in Nigeria. What are we talking about? It is the corruption in Nigeria.
After a while, it's still, you know, you still make room for those sort of persons. So those sort of relationships, you see that it's ongoing for a number of years. But there are some people that you feel, this is too much for me.
This is the end of your journey
exactly.
with me.
And it's also okay.
Yes.
So whatever happens, your mental state of mind
is the most important
important. So if you're going to have somebody who in a relationship who's constantly not trusting, who's constantly feeling like this is how this relationship should be, and if you can't give me this vibe, just walk away. You too. Walk away. It's not a big deal. But I love friendships. And I like that
quickly, because we can,
yes, I like that we can get to a point where if I've chosen you to be my friend, no matter what you do, we will talk about it and we'll move on from that. Yes.
So let me quickly say that
Quickly.
seasons when you just don't have the time to accommodate the emotional. Being a good friend it's work. It's emotionally, you have to be there for that person. You're not just meant to just. It's not just one thing. Yes, you have to give. and you have to be there. And sometimes you are not in that space. And sometimes you are not in the season for friendship. You just want to focus. There's something that you are driving at. Face it. When the time is right, you will make friends and everything will be fine. But it's not every time that we must always be, I'm calling, I'm checking. Hello, I'm in this season. The only thing on my mind is electricity. The only thing on my mind for now.
But the most important
so
thing,
sweet. You don't think it's a burden.
but the most important thing that we have said here is to communicate.
Yes.
Just have that conversation and understand. No selfishness, just understand this person. And then you know, okay, this person, this is the end of the journey for you. Your mental health or mental state, mental well-being is very important. That's where we leave it for the show this week.
Well-being.
Join us next week when Mariah returns.
I'll miss you.
All right, do have a fabulous weekend. Bye.
Bye.
There is a report that some ladies cut their single friends off once they get married. And once these married women, and when these married women are asked why, the blame change of status, having to cater to children, some even go as far as saying they do not want to be seen with someone who isn't married because their image will be affected. Yeah. Now the question is, should these factors determine the continuity of such friendship? How can there be balance? Should it be encouraged? We'd like to hear your thoughts. So join the conversation and call us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. Let's get your thoughts, ladies. Should these reasons, why would you cut off your friend? Because you're married or because you have children? Because she's single and all, you have to focus. Is that a reason at all?
I've heard people say it, but I don't know anyone who has done it. So every time I hear about it, it's always when it's read out.
So how did you manage your single friend?
Yeah, but I can understand how it can happen because there's just change in...
Did it settle?
In just, the way that your life is